Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting East Coast Honda. And I'm checking out a 2017 Honda Civic Type R Touring. Now this is the 306 horsepower in a turbocharged four-cylinder vehicle. Absolutely amazing, very sporty, stunning looking interior, wheels, everything about it. So let's go ahead and check it out. This Type R is sitting on 245 30 R20 Continental Sport Contact 6 summer tires, wrapped around 20-inch alloy wheels. It also has four-wheel disc brakes, but the front has the Brembo braking system with the cross-drilled and ventilated rotors, and it has the solid disc rotors in the back. The name of this color is Crystal Black Pearl. Fantastic, and has a lot of red accents around this vehicle, around the tires, there on the side, across the bottom, and here in the front, right on the front of the splitter. And the splitter itself has a carbon fiber design on it. Full LED lights here for the headlights and the fog lights. Has the reflector system for your low and your high beams. Plenty of cooling here in the front as far as the airflow. There down the center and on the sides. You also have the ventilation for the wheel wells on the far side. And some engine compartment ventilation here with a little hood scoop, which transfers the air under the hood and allows for that proper airflow. Here's what the key looks like. It's pretty traditional Honda proximity key with the buttons there and the red Honda emblem, which is nice, matching the front of the vehicle. Okay, looking at the profile, check out that prominent spoiler. We'll take a look at that in more detail in a second, but just overall, the red accents across the bottom as well as around the tires and the wheels. Prominent spoiler, as well as the front splitter here in the front, and on the sides has that carbon fiber design, making it stand out. Now I noticed with the ventilation for the wheel well, you have it that goes through here in the front, goes through into the wheel well on this side. I don't know if you can see that, but this part is not for the wheel well because there's no place for the air to flow through. So I'm assuming, I hadn't confirmed this yet, but there's it's an exhaust port for, say, maybe the air to flow out of the engine compartment, something like that, because it is open right in here. So it's not completely closed, but it doesn't appear to have anything to do with the wheel well ventilation. Okay, let's check out here on the passenger side. Now, since it has the proximity key, you're able to lock with this button and unlock by simply putting your hand behind the handle. All right. So here's the passenger side. And it has like an Alcantara suede type material here on the doors with the contrast stitching, and then it has that carbon fiber with the red accent. Here's your threshold, and check out these seats. Awesome. They have the mesh here in the center portion, very significant bolsters, and has the Type R name in the back. So this is kind of like a Recaro racing type seat. Really holds you in place while you're cornering, and they're comfortable. They're not, once you get in place, the bolsters are not that intrusive, not as intrusive as I thought they would be. Of course, you have the contrast stitching in red. You also have the white contrast stitching, all that stuff. And that's a suede, Alcantara type suede material. manually adjusted seat. And you have the Type R floor mats, which is cool. And then here's your dash with the red accent and the carbon fiber right there in the dash. A soft to the touch dash. And the glove compartment. It's all smooth plastic. You also have the little portion right there with a 12-volt power supply and a place to store some stuff for the driver, and the passenger can access that. Here's the inside of the back door. Now this is a significant difference as far as the back material. This is a cloth material, not the Alcantara type suede. It does have the contrast stitching, but it is a completely different material and a very different look here in the back. Same thing with the seats. You have the contrast stitching, and I really like the red seat belts. That's nice. But this is a different experience back here. Has the cup holders, little storage space. The seats do fold down in case you need to add to your cargo space in a 60-40 split fashion. Before we go too much further, I just want to check out this brake system here in the front. Has the Brembo, what appears to be a 4-piston caliper here, and the cross-drilled and ventilated rotor, pretty good size too, nice thick this way. Low profile tires, and has a little ridge there on the tire to protect the rim, the rim of the wheel, I guess you can say. Okay, and here's the back braking system. This one has the pretty standard caliper. It's not a Brembo. It is painted to match though. And then it has a solid disc rotor back here. And basically the reason why is because almost the entire braking force of the vehicle is in the front. So as you're slowing down, there's more weight behind the front tire than there is the back tire. So that's where all the stopping power is needed there in the front. Unless you're going in reverse, and then it'd be a different story. But anyways, all right. So let's look here in the back. Check it out. You have these like these diffusers here at the very top, across the top, and then you have the little shark fin antenna. And check out this spoiler. Wow, really prominent. It's almost the height of the, pretty much the height of the top of the car, really. But it has a lot of space there, so I suppose that would help with visibility. And then you have this other little deck lid type spoiler here, which you have some glass below it to see around that as well. You have the Type R badging, and a combination of LED and standard bulbs back here for your tail lights. Parking sensors across the back. A backup camera. And it has that carbon fiber look here in the back as well, with the red accents just going all the way around the vehicle with that. Then it has a triple exhaust. See those 3 exhaust tips back here? Pretty cool in that center position. Makes it look more unique and sound a little bit different too. Let's take a look in the cargo area. You can see it has some handles here, and it has this shade that's removable. This kind of pops in and out of place up here when you don't want to have it there. And you also have this shade that retracts. And it retracts a little bit different. Goes here to the right, like so. Usually a shade retracts that way. This one retracts there to the right. That opens up the area a lot better. in this particular case. So like say if you had one that goes across this way, then you have to get it out of the way when you're not using it in order to use the height portion of your cargo space. This kind of solves that problem. You can also take this completely out by unhooking it, and this portion, see that little jiggle there, that can be removed to allow you for the full width if you need it. Okay, so here's your cargo area, and I'm going to, even has a subwoofer, I'm going to put all the specs, all the measurements, all that stuff in the description. This video is mainly so you can see and get a feel of what it looks like. Let's take a look in here. Little compartment, see what's going on. I'm curious. Okay, so there's your funnel for your capless fuel door, and what appears to be a tow hook or something in there. Of course, I guess you can, you know, put some stuff in there if you want. And let's look under here. Has a tire inflator kit and some storage space. Doesn't appear to have a spare tire, so I suppose you can put one back here, but this one doesn't have one. And these seats fold down in case you need more cargo space. You can fold it down, one or the other or both, to add to your cargo space, or have a combination of passenger and cargo space in addition to all that. The fuel door is on the driver's side, and it locks with the key, so locks with the vehicle basically. So if I have the vehicle locked, like right now, it's locked, I unlock it, it will unlock the vehicle, also unlock the fuel door, and you can see it's the capless design here. And you just pump the gas. You don't have to worry about a cap getting in your way or being too loose and triggering your check engine light or anything like that. And also, if you unlock the vehicle, if you don't enter the vehicle within 30 seconds or so, it will relock. So that way, if you accidentally push the unlock button as you're walking away or inside or whatever, it'll just go ahead and re-secure the vehicle. It kind of can tell, I suppose, like right now it's relocking, that you're not entering the vehicle, so it relocks. So got the key inside. I'm going to go ahead and start it up. Now, since it's the manual transmission, just got to put my foot on hold the clutch, hold the brake, and push the button here. Okay, so here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. You can see the floor mat hooks in place. There's your accelerator, brake pedal, and clutch pedals on the metallic design with little raised rubber grips. Even has a footrest here. Let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. The latch is a little bit to the left of center. Just reach in, move it to the right, like so. And it actually has two places for the prop to go. You can put it in this normal spot, or you can put it in this lower position, which gives you much higher height as far as the hood, so you can kind of see under there better. Also, the ventilation as far as the side of the vehicle here, just kind of looking on this side, so you can see, kind of confirming that it is intended for the air from the engine compartment to flow through there. So it's completely open from the engine compartment down around that wheel well and out those vents. And then you can see that center scoop kind of channels the air under to this portion right here, and kind of channels it around to the sides, and I guess to kind of siphon the cool air in a certain direction to allow to siphon the hot air, I suppose. Probably a little bit more scientifically, can be more scientifically explained than that, but anyways, that's my novice explanation. So here's the engine compartment, and you see it has an insulated battery, insulated firewall, and the strut towers, the McPherson struts here in the front, are secured in with the ACE body structure. So the engine itself is a 2.0 liter direct injection turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with 306 horsepower. Now this one's mated to a 6-speed manual transmission. It also has a limited slip differential here on the front, so that way you can keep you going in the right direction at the speed you want to go in. So it's the inline 4-cylinder going this way, and you have the exhaust out of the front and then the intake there in the back. Turbocharger is here with the exhaust, of course, so the intake air comes in, gets boosted by the exhaust pressure, and is transferred over to the intake there, compressing the air into the intake. Pretty awesome. So you can see that it has a VTEC too. Now the SI has a turbocharged, but not the VTEC system. So this one actually is maintaining the VTEC. The Honda's pretty awesome and well-known variable timing system that's been out for a long time. They've only improved it every year, but or every once in a while it has been improved. Okay, the inside of the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons with the automatic power windows and the power windows basically for all windows. And then your side mirrors are adjusted here, and then your door lock controls. Now the driver's seat is manually adjusted as well, but it does have the height adjuster there on the side. That's a little bit different from the passenger side. So right in here you have your traction control off button in case you need to spin tires or want to spin tires. And it has the telescoping and tilt steering column, but the lever is way down here in case you were looking for it. So that way you can tilt it and telescope it, and then you lock it in place by pushing it like so. All right, let's take a look here on the inside. Sitting in the driver's seat, these seats are definitely race types feeling seats. They hug you in position and you're not moving around much, but they are comfortable. They do have that significant bolster feel, if you know what I'm talking about. Legroom is just crazy awesome. I could put my legs completely straight out. I'm about 6 feet tall, and I have the seat so far back right now I wouldn't actually be able to drive. So there's plenty of room here, and as far as the knee room, it's all good, especially considering the bolster is not going to let you kind of sprawl out as much. So let's go ahead and start here on the steering wheel. It's a leather wrap steering wheel with a stitching on the inside, and then you have the red portion here at the bottom, which is nice. Then you have the Honda emblem in red, cruise control there on the right, and then you have your volume and radio controls on the left side, as well as the voice recognition and the ability to control this little menu system between the gauges, which will, or inside the gauges, I guess I should say. We'll get to that in just a minute, but this is a physical volume. There's no like sliding it or anything. You actually push the button here and here to raise and lower the volume. Here's your windshield wiper controls. Headlight controls are on your turn signal stock, and then you have off, and then you even have automatic, and then your fog lights can be controlled here. Okay, so check out the gauges. Have the engine coolant temperature there on the left side, and it's all digital for the most. I mean, it's just all like some of them look like the dial there in the center looks like an actual needle, but it's not. It's all digital. Then your fuel gauge there on the right side, but here in the center, in addition to the digital speedometer and the RPM gauge there, you have that information here in the center. So right now I'm going to push this button, kind of cycle through, just to show you this is part of a whole menu system. So we can have these icons here, and we can make selections. So let's go back to the original one that I was in, this one right here. So this is your throttle percentage as far as how open the throttle is, and on the right side is your brake pressure. So as I'm pushing the brake, you can see the pressure increases. I'm pushing it, and it goes all the way up there, so you can get an idea of how far you're pushing the brake. I'm just kind of pumping the brake right now, and it gives you the pressure And on the other side, your how percentage of your accelerator you're pressing. All right, so let's go to the next one. This will be your boost for your turbo. So typically a vehicle will run on a vacuum, so like the vacuum is sucking the air into the engine, so the boost would actually help push it in there. So that's what that represents. All right, this will be your shift light, kind of helping you when shift. G-force meter, this will be for braking and quartering and all that. All right, the next one will be your timer, so this is where you can, do 0 to 60 runs and things like that. Lap timer. Fuel economy, let's go into that, just kind of see what it looks like. And your navigation information will show up here, and you don't have anything displayed, it'll just show a digital compass. And then you can have your oil life and maintenance information on this screen. Whatever your radio is doing will show up here. Cell phone information like caller ID will show up all there. And then you can change from kilometer to miles per hour, and then it goes back to the original screen. Check out the red accents here too on the inside. Really nice. Okay, so here's your center stack, and pretty basic and simple. So here's your touchscreen with the soft touch buttons here on the left side. Right now we're in the home screen, so we have access to the navigation screen. So we can go where to or view map. Notice how big and easy to read everything is. Let's go to view map, see what it looks like. And the resolution and clarity of the screen is really nice. Let's go here. Actually, let's go back out of that. And let's go to where to so you can see what that screen looks like. You can find gas stations and different things. You can save addresses and do searches. All that from this screen. Take a look at the radio. See what it looks like. Turn that down. Turn that down. Okay, so you have your presets there at the very bottom, what's playing, and this is in a just like the radio source. We can change the audio source from AM, FM, satellite radio, Bluetooth, USB, iPod, all that good stuff. Your phone, you can actually have the smartphone connection separate. You can also have your phone Bluetooth connected to where you can send and receive calls. You can also play audio through the sound system with your Bluetooth phone. But the smartphone connection is for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Software on the screen is basically what it is. Then you have your different app lists. There's all kinds of different things in here in which you can download. You can also you can install apps. You can browse the internet. This is kind of like an Android system right here. Has a calculator. You can look at pictures, all of that. It's kind of like a cell phone in which you have these different screens which you can customize. You can also push this button and go into your climate, and then you can choose where you want the air to blow, the fan speed, all that. You also have the physical buttons down here for your temperature for your driver and passenger. It is a dual zone. Recirculate the air, and then your front and rear defrosters. And of course, with one tap, you can turn the climate control on or off. So right in here is a good place to put your cell phone for that smartphone connection, because it has this rubber bottom portion. Let me move these keys so you can see what I'm talking about. You have this rubber bottom portion where you can put this phone this way or this way, and then it has a little pass-through where it holds your wire in place basically so it doesn't fall down into this other portion, and that's where you would connect the USB for your smartphone connection. Camera doesn't want to cooperate, but anyways, you can see it down there. It's a little place, and then you just run the wire up through that pass-through and you hook it in place so that way it doesn't fall through. You also have little side pockets there and everything. So if you're an Android Auto or Apple CarPlay person, that would help you out. Okay, so here's your shifter, and it's a it's like an aluminum ball, I guess you can say. Really nice looking So there's all your speed, 6-speed transmission. So just kind of cycle through it real tight and close, easy to kind of go through it. And then your reverse is way over here. And when you put it in reverse, your backup camera pops up here, as well as your parking sensors are engaged, and you have different views, even a top-down view. The brake hold feature, this is where you're sitting in traffic or whatever, and if you have this engaged, if you have this turned on, it will hold the brake for you so you don't roll away. You don't have to hold the brake while you're sitting in traffic. As soon as you push the accelerator, it'll let you go. Kind of like a hill hold type system, but a little bit different from that because it's for stop and go traffic type thing. And then you have electronic parking brake, so you can push and hold the brake to release it. So I'm going to go ahead and push it and release it by pushing it down. You have a little indicator light that pops up here. Let's go ahead and engage it by lifting it up. You can actually feel it in the pedal, kind of pedal sink down a little bit, and it engages the rear wheels, by the way. All right. Okay, so this is your comfort or your race mode, your R mode. So you can push it up here like so. Then you have sport, comfort, and check it out when you put it on the R mode. Check out that background. Isn't that awesome? Kind of zoom in a little here. Kind of goes away. There's sport, comfort, and this will be for your dampers as well as your your acceleration or whatever it can give you the best performance when you put it in that R mode. Now I wonder if it turns off any kind of stability control when you put it in that race mode. Something I'll have to put in the description for you. Okay, so you have this storage compartment here, and it has a USB port at the bottom, 1 amp charger, and cup holders that slide around, and they also are removable. You have this armrest that has that same Alcantara suede matching the seats with the contrast stitching, and it moves forward and back. You can also lift it up, get it out of the way. You have this other little sliding tray that's also removable. And it's a large portion underneath these little sliders that you can put some stuff under there. So you can have multiple layers of, organization or disorganization, however you prefer it. And the rear view mirror has the manual day and night mode. The visors have mirrors and lights. Tap lights up here. Let's look at the visibility. Since we had that big spoiler back there, actually it hugs the top of the vehicle quite nicely, so it doesn't really get in the way. You do have some pillars there to deal with, but all cars do. Really cool vehicle. I'm really excited to actually be able to check it out this early. Vehicle just hit the market, and I was able to check out the first one. Now this is a sold vehicle, so I'm not able to drive it out on the road or anything like that. Honoring the wishes of the owner, but I was allowed to show it off to you, so I really appreciate that. So thank you for watching, and thank you to East Coast Honda here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for allowing me to show off another awesome vehicle, and I'll see you guys next time. So in the SI, I experienced a little bit of a rev hang And it's really hard to tell here in the parking lot whether this one is doing it or not, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like when I was driving the SI, I thought I was mistiming the clutch. But when I posted the video, a lot of people were saying, well, there's some kind of rev hang going on with the car because of emissions. And so I don't know what the actual verdict was, but this one feels a little bit different. This one feels more what I'm used to with a manual transmission. The clutch is right on. Like say my Acura RSX feels similar to this as far as driving it. Can't take it out on the road, but I'm able to just kind of drive through the parking lot real quick just to kind of feel the clutch and get an idea of what it's all about. So if you're looking for burnouts and 0 to 60 runs and all that stuff in this particular vehicle, you're gonna have to look elsewhere, unfortunately. Go around this way. Suppose I'll park it right here, out of the way. Don't want to park it out front. The whole neighborhood's gonna rush over there and check it out. But anyways, this is a sweet car. I wish I could drive it out on the highway and check it out, but maybe another time. But this is just a really nice car. Make sure we have the parking brake engaged.